Oui.
Oh my God.
The life, the morning, the pricky. Good morning, world. So good to be here. Past all who already here. Miss Mish, how life down in your neck of the woods? Snowing?
No, but extremely cold. This morning it was like 40-something degree.
Ooh.
So
it warm. Our friends in Canada would say hot, hot, hot. Leo, how is it down by you?
You know, me this wake up, you know, but trying to get this thing here offline because I am not supposed to be going to a particular place. I think that's the one. All right.
You're trying to get it offline or you're trying to get it online? Which one are you trying to do?
No, we're not supposed to be streaming to a particular platform, and it was live on that platform. So I just took it off a while ago. We're good now. We're on.
All right, so are we on Jamaicans.com?
We're on
check.
YouTube and Jamaicans.com, yeah. All right, so we're good now, I think.
I look good on camera. Me look like it. All the woman so me always look like.
Don't comment on that.
With my lips.
Morning, it's a Saturday morning here on Conversation with Diana and Michelle and I on a Saturday morning, 10 p.m., 10 a.m. God have mercy. Me no wake up yet. Uno help me. Uno help me. Me no wake up yet.
Yeah, me like that.
What I need is some coffee.
Yeah, there's an extra.
All the matter about. All right, so maybe if I turn this down, do you still have the echo? Is the echo still there?
Yeah.
Yes. Lord of mercy.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, from last night I had some audio problems and
you sound straight.
You're like a really coarse voice.
Yeah, we got this wake up.
No. Computer messing with your voice.
Speaker.
So you probably one of your streaming things probably just needs to be muted.
10. All right, so my mic is fine, but you say I'm coming in twice.
Yes. So yeah, but I hear that guy, the always this guy. Voice. Like it's like a distant voice. And an echo.
And an echo.
Is it mine? Are you hearing it?
Oh, because we hear the echo.
What if it's mine?
So try again.
I don't have two devices on. I'm fine here on my speakers.
Hold on, let me log off.
Let me see. I need to listen to us on YouTube so that I can hear what the problem is. And let's see if I can go to YouTube and find what the problem is. We're on. Forgive me because we don't want to come hear the show.
All right, let me log off.
We don't want to come. Oh, me hear myself. That's me. That's me. Oh, me hear myself. That's me. Oh. I'm gonna jump off. Oh, when he comes back on, I'm gonna jump back off. And then why am I hearing myself? I'm gonna come off.
the challenges of 2022. Yes, we are here still, it would seem. Leo trying to work out his techie issues. And I'm playing host until Leo and Michelle are back on, because I'm not so sure I'm seeing them. But, you know, the most competent amongst us always need some help, some guidance. Sometimes the guidance is from God Almighty, or always it is from God Almighty. But right now it's some little techie help we need with things that we don't understand. You back, Michelle? Not hearing you.
Are you hearing me now?
Yeah, loud and good. Leo will join us back on. So.
Okay. So what's happening for today while we work out the technical? Oh, Kasi said I could only hear the echo when Diana or Michelle speak.
Right.
Are you still hearing that echo?
No, not hearing any echo, no, because there was something then, Leo had something streaming then that would have caused that echo.
Okay, we're having a technical difficulty, everyone, but we're here.
Okay, this is how okay, so Kazi said that he could only hear that when we were chatting.
Okay. Okay. So what are we talking about this morning?
Or do we have some news items so we can get into them, the usual? I looked at a tsunami that some countries out in the Asia Pacific had a warning about. Social media footage showed some washing through a church and several homes. Tsunami warning sent residents scrambling. The eruption of the Hunga, Tonga, Kappa volcanoes was heard across the South Pacific, reportedly as far as New Zealand and Australia. So thought by the weather issues that exist all over is perhaps a little bit scary these days.
It is. Climate change.
Yes, climate change impacting and affecting everybody left, right, and center. Yeah. I thought also that we would mention, you know, our own condolences to family and friends in the New York area, particularly in the Bronx, following that fire last week. Sunday it was, you know, that claimed so many lives, including 17 people died, including 8 children. The loss of any life, much more 17 in one community, is horrific. And so as a Caribbean area, and just beyond that, just plain ordinary human, well thought and thinking and empathy, we want to offer our own regret and to pray for our neighbors down in that Bronx area.
Yeah, they had one a few days before in, I think, Philadelphia also, where several children died. Yeah, another building. Wow. Only thing I could add to it, I'm not a fire expert, but people need to ensure that their fire detection system, it is working in their homes and their building. Like, just go and check, make sure it is off. You could call the fire department and they'll come in to also help you with checking to ensure. And carbon monoxide poisoning, you have the detection. So you should, if you're in a building, you should follow up with your building administration and ensure that they are compliant with all the regulations, and look out for yourself and your family so we can prevent the tragedies in the future.
And I think too, the servicing of the equipment in the homes is important for them to make sure that the alarms work. And no sleep so sound, them a days and no days for sleep like you did.
Yeah, that's true. And just check it every month. Always check it, because sometimes they're offline and you don't even know.
Right. Sometimes the battery them dead. It's like you walk past your clock and it look like it's right, but the truth is that it's wrong, you know, because battery dead. So you just always have to check your batteries and make sure. There's another issue.
Can you hear us?
Are they all hearing us?
I can't hear it. You unmute, Leah. They're hearing us.
We're not hearing you. Good morning.
Everybody is saying good morning. SMLE said, Michelle, I love your hairstyle. Lawton said, good morning, Dr. Diana and JD, Michelle. Jude said, good morning. Lawton said, Leo is back, but we can't hear Leo. Faye said, good morning, everyone. Anisha said, good morning, Dr. Diana, Michelle, and Leo, family and friends online. BM said, good morning, everyone.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now. Much better, your normal self.
Is it better than before when I was on a while ago?
Yes. You're back to your normal voice.
Your normal self. Is it better than before? When okay, I can hear myself now. Okay, yes. Got you. Yeah. All right.
Lon said, thanks for mentioning the fires in New York and Philadelphia. We do pray for the bereaved family. Tell them not to use electric space. Yeah, the electric space heaters. You have to turn them off in a reasonable time.
You think that burnout, is that what happened, Michelle? That them run for too long and then them just burn out and catch a fire?
Yeah, most of them are defective after a while. But I don't think they find out the actual cause, but they noted that most of the systems were not working. So they weren't able to notify like the other apartments that, you know, fires in the building, carbon monoxide.
So I'm not representing anybody, any insurance company at this point in time, but most times when one of the things that an insurance company will decline your insurance for is if you are using space heaters, if you're using other heater than what's provided by your homeowners or the contractor built into your system. They don't want to put that heater inside the house because then that's danger. That's a lot of danger. So that is true. Yeah, because people can never once they go to sleep, you don't know what the hell is going on, you know. So
what you're saying, Leo, is that people shouldn't use systems other than what is there within the building for insurance purposes?
No. I said that most insurance companies will more or less decline your application if they know that you're using space heaters. You're using other than the constructed heater, the permanent heater that's inside the house once it was built. Because they know the dangers of going to sleep and falling asleep and you're not knowing what's going on with the space heaters. The heaters that are set for your home are safe. But once you start buying something on a Walmart and bringing it to the house, and you have a problem with that.
So, and just for the record, we're not knocking any one distribution center. That was just an example of, we're not saying that it is unsafe at that institution.
Actually, I said Walmart, Mark, M-A-R-K.
What?
Okay.
I said Walmart.
Okay. Thanks for saving us.
Michelle, Daphne said put Canada on that list too. Where these ads come on my thing? Michelle said, good morning, everyone. Don't sleep sound. How if you do that?
Who said that? Who said I was sleep sound?
Michelle, Dr. Diana said don't sleep.
Oh, okay.
Natalia said good morning from China. We have China.
Well, you cannot sleep sound if you don't do things before you go to bed. If you go to bed and do things, as a result of doing things, then you're sleeping sound.
I'm gonna try not sleep sound. That's all.
Sleep with one eye open.
When you don't do whatever things you're making reference to, like quarrel about so that one can't keep up.
Like being in a hot water in the bath.
Find something to quarrel about that we keep it up.
Michelle said people were saying that they said because they had false alarms before, they ignored this one, which was real. So it's so sad. And people can do that. You never know. And that's why they always have training. Like with schools, they always have like the disaster unit coming to schools to train children what to do with a fire, earthquake, and whatever. You never know when it's going to happen. That's the whole point. So they can't ignore stuff, and to their detriment, which is sad. Oh, Peter said, yes, Dr. Diana, space heaters are prohibited, even in the workplace. They would rather you freeze to death than have a space heater. They have to be used under supervision. That is true. I remember my boss used to say, bring a blanket.
Bring a blanket. On a lighter note in terms of news, and I don't even know if it's a lighter note, but let's go to the other side of the pond and let us go to London. We see that the British Prime Minister seems to be under the thumb. People are asking for his resignation over his May 2020 party, Bring Your Own Booze party. And then just a little bit further from Parliament, we see where the Queen has said to Andrew, look here, boy, you're on your own in that thing there. So them take off back, him title them, and then push him out the door and say, look, you're going to fight your own battle for we no mix up with them. What are your thoughts about that, Michelle?
Well, it is fair for her to do that. You know, he's in a certain position, how to act, and he just brings shame. Not like, you know, much.
You say Andrew. You say Andrew. Who's Andrew?
Prince Andrew, the Queen's son. Remember, he's caught up with the whole, what the guy name? Epstein and Maxwell with the little girl.
The
underage girl. So she filed a claim against him, a civil case. And the courts here said they're not dismissing the case, they're moving forward. So at that point, the Queen stripped him of every title. So he has no title anymore. And he's on his own, which is fair.
Yes, he's to go and clear his
and he's royalty.
Yeah, yes. Her son, the last child.
That's a good indication of what we should be doing in Jamaica.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Perhaps it's a matter of CYA where the Queen is saying, you know, the institution is under threat and the dynastic preservation supersedes everything else. So rather than take care of family and support them, she's saying, no, we need to protect the dynasty that is royal.
So the overall
that way.
So it's the overall picture you're saying that's created because they deal with an underage child. That's a criminal offense. That's you're saying, right?
Yeah, and not only that, he brought them to the palace. Epstein and he brought them to the palace to events.
Did they know that they were underage? Was there any news?
The girl said they know, so we don't know. But first he was denying it. That was my thing. He was denying it, like he don't know pictures and video existed. So
denying what? Denying the underage
girl. He's never met the girl. Like he's never met the girl. He's never met anybody underage, whatever. So that was what came out. The age part, I'm not sure if he knew or those around him knew. So I guess with the trial or the civil case, we'll see. And I think they gave her a settlement prior.
A civil case? So there's no criminal?
No, not yet.
You can't get civil before you get a criminal.
No, she can because she had a settlement before. And I guess something happened with that violation of it. So I guess they don't have enough evidence right now to move towards a criminal thing. Because years ago. So I guess eventually they will.
Right, because she had a criminal case with Epstein, I think, and that's how they got to that settlement of the 500,000. But no, she's aiming at Andrew and saying, hey, you, let's go after. And Queenie said, boy, go on out there, go stand up on your own and defend yourself.
Which is right.
On Queenie. Accountability. Accountability is important. Any comments, Mish?
Yeah. Morning. Soldier Boy Sniper said deny the whole shebang. I guess the guy was denying the whole shebang. And it's just said we have to be clear because we have two oh my God.
That's why I asked what Andrew she's talking about.
Yeah, Andrew in the media. You have Prince Andrew, you have Andrew Holness.
Yeah, that's why
somebody said you are freezing. Who is freezing?
It's probably me. It's me in Jamaica.
Angela said, good, you know, mine horrible too. Angela said, good morning, crew. Do you guys see anything else called, mine?
I have Beverly Frey says good morning on YouTube, and also Marvet Rattigan saying good morning. She says, Beverly says the sound is clear. We can hear Diana and Michelle. But are you hearing me clearly? That's the other question.
Yeah, I'm hearing you clear.
Okay, great.
Yes, we're hearing you clearly.
No, what I was saying when Diana said something about Andrew, I said, Andrew, the Queen, take over from Andrew, what she give him. So that was kind of, I'm not hearing Diana.
All right, so there's one other news item. Michelle, did you get a chance to find it? Because I was trying to find out about the little 9-year-old in Jamaica.
No, that is sad. I didn't find anything, but just to summarize, there was this mother that was driving in the western part of the island with her. I don't know if you heard about it, Leo, but she was in her car, Audi, and she was hijacked. And when they drove off with the car, her 9-year-old son was in the car. Unfortunately, when they found the car, they killed the 9-year-old child. He was autistic, nonverbal. So, it tugs at the heart, but I think we do just need to wait on the facts to come out, because it's sad, but we really don't know. We can't blame anything without.
Facts you need to wait on for that. I don't understand.
To see who did it, because they're saying she was actually hijacked and criminals did it. But there's another spin to it saying it's more like a personal thing. So they're doing their investigation.
Yeah, you're saying that the mother said there's a talk that the mother set it up for her son to be killed.
No, not her mother. What they did, they locked up the father. Well, he's not locked up. They took him into custody, the father of the child, and the mother is in protective custody.
Okay. What's the other?
I think the father found him in the car. He used the tracking and found the car and found the child.
And it's the mother who was driving the car.
Yeah, and said
that they
hijacked her.
Where was she hijacked? Because I know that the car was found on Fairfield Road in St.
In St. Mary?
No, man, St.
James. In terms of where it was hijacked, and I only am asking because I'm not familiar with the area. Is it far? Is it how many miles? Several miles from where it was hijacked?
Where was the car hijacked? That's what I was.
Don't know, but it said within 9 minutes the police found the car.
Oh, I see.
So it could not be that far if they found it in 9 minutes.
Well, 9 minutes can be pretty far. 9 minutes could be Anchovy Hill. 9 minutes could be in Montego Bay. It could be anywhere. So it all depends on the traffic, what time of the morning and what time of the evening.
Yeah.
It all depends. 9 minutes could be very far and it could be very close. But on Fairfield Highway, it's generally pretty quick, traffic moving fast because it's a wide street. And so it could going up into the country. Where do they live? Do you know where they live? Did they say?
No, they didn't say.
It comes into play because Fairfield goes to Granville, and Granville going to retirement and up into your neck of the woods.
Yeah, I think they were going to. They said it was going to Uwerton or no Uwerton. Some.
Can you hear me?
Some other. Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you.
Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you.
But I'm not hearing you, Michelle. And I don't know if Dan said anything. Dan?
No, I'm not saying anything, but I'm hearing.
Okay, so it's my sound system.
No, man, I'm hearing good. I was listening to you explain in terms of Irwin, just in terms of location. But it's regardless of what the story is, the loss of life taken by brute force again in Jamaica, this time targeted at the extremely young and disadvantaged, because here you have a child who had some disabilities, some challenges. For us as a society to be at the point where this child loses his life in such a dreadful way is scary. And as I listened to the story and thought about it, I wanted to ask, is it a matter of education or lack thereof, or is it a matter of poverty that has caused us to become seemingly so barbaric? And I'd love to hear what you think.
Well, people tell us to think. The thing is that because with this one, it's sad the child died, but for me, I'm moving cautiously because I don't know if I could take what else is happening in the island where I could say, all right, these criminals, because of poverty, no opportunities, they committed these crimes, and how heartless they are. Because I don't know because a lot of the crimes in Jamaica too are because of personal, in that you're fighting a family for a land, you want to get rid of family, and so you have that sense. It's not that they're poor, they are suffering. That's another issue with them, why they're killing each other. So it's kind of hard to use this instance without really knowing,
But I wanted to hear what the other side of that you're talking about. You were saying that they're saying something else and you want to hear the facts. So I just wanted to know what the other side is saying. Are they saying that the father killed the child or the mother killed the child? What are they saying?
Okay. The other side is that she was actually hijacked. The criminals hijacked her, stole the car, but the car was still intact. You know what I mean? So that's the element. Like the criminals kidnapped, they were gonna try to get money out of the family, but they wouldn't kill the child immediately if they intended to do that, right? And then the other side now is that maybe it's something more along with the family, because the father is now in custody and the mother is in a secured place to protect
her. After the incident? Yeah, okay, but if you think about it, whether the child is autistic or not, they would have had some learning. If they hijack the car and the child sees the robbers, there's a likelihood that they're going to kill him.
No, but he's non-verbal.
It doesn't matter. They would know that. They wouldn't know that.
Yeah, that's
right. But even though he's non-verbal, don't mean that he can't
identify anybody. So it makes sense that they would kill. Right.
Yeah, but to use that knife and just, it kind of.
It makes sense. They are hijackers. They don't want. They don't want to be. I don't see the other side at all, unless you're saying that the mother and father are separated. They're going through court.
Well, she's married to somebody else.
And they've had problems with it.
We don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't know what's happening, so nobody can.
I don't want to turn that to parents at all. I mean, I would see.
We don't know.
I can't see that. There's nothing in there that I think about otherwise.
Yeah, but the reason why I'm saying that is because a lot of the crimes, like, sometimes it tugs at the heart, and then after you realize it's sometimes it's a family. And I say the minister just highlighted a lot of people are hiring contract killers to go out and kill people. So
let's just pause and take some comments, Michelle, only because they're running away from us. The comments for some reason.
Okay, all right. Where were we? Okay, possible. Johnny said possible he did not know that they were underage. Depends on how Epstein and Maxwell presented the girls with the prince and others. Think of pimps presenting underage girls. Okay, we understand that. Johnny said heartless criminal slashed his throat for no reason. Yeah, an innocent child, just 9. Peter said, I read somewhere that the parents are involved. We don't know. Johnny said, carjack while navigating potholes on the road. Soldier Boy said, Jamaica needs to be better. We can't carry on like this. It's disgraceful. No respect for lives. Anita said the car was found within 9 minutes of the incident and the child was found dead. So sad. Peter said there are speculation family members set up the hijacking. Joni said, was that a credible source? Well, one of the main people from the police or whatever said it, gave us information. We don't know the facts fully. Peter said there are speculations that family, yeah, I read that. Sandra said, good morning, beautiful people. How all is well. Hope all is well with everyone. VM said, we are hearing you, Leo. Joni said, desperation compounded by lack of sources and resources. Soldier Boy said, what I'm going to say is hard, but the police and the community, that is true, need to work together because people know who these persons are. People know what's happening, but they're scared to talk because of the end results. Lorna said, could it be stressful situation in people's life that cause them to do the beastly act? Angela said, lack of empathy, lack of respect for life, heartless, barbaric, regardless of what. Why kill the innocent child or anyone?
What is the social standing of the family, of the wife, the mother?
Well, they're related to the Issa. Issa. Well, she married at Issa.
But why that question, though, Leo? Are you suggesting that the social standing, the supposed social standing, will dictate the justice or the rate at which action is taken?
No, I am listening to all of the comments, and I'm saying, based on contract killing comment, based on other comments relating to desperation and stuff, it makes sense that that I would ask a question about whether them rich or them poor, because if they are doing contract killing or they're that kind of stuff, that's where it's, if they were a poor person, I would never have asked that. That the question would not have, if it came out that they live down a railway lane and not that nobody rich live a railway lane, but if you come out that they live a railway lane and the 9-year-old died, it probably would be a short story, a short discussion and thing. But you tell me that she has an Audi, which is an expensive car, and so forth. So those are things. If there's desperation, lack of resources, people do anything. I remember a few years ago, people were chopping off people's head and holding people for ransom and all, and something that. But the way that I see this crime being committed, there wasn't any ransom, right? There wasn't any ransom. If it's a hijack, if the mother 9 minutes ago call and say, hey, my car is being hijacked, and 9 minutes later it's found with the child dead in the car, it would seem to me that the first thing that the police would want to look at would be, okay, the child recognized the killers.
Somebody, yeah.
And I ask a question here, only because the truth is that there seemed to be a different approach depending on the social standing, unfortunately, in Jamaica. That this seemingly, I don't know if it's a matter of one sector of the society cooperates more with the police, or is that police more inclined to pursue it because persons are a particular standing, versus the people from the train line, as they're using that analogy. It seemed to be, okay, my gosh, them kill a little people and they murder it, and then it is a lost story. So that's why I asked the question.
Well, I get you, but I still don't understand why the wife is the lady is in protective custody and why the husband is in lockup. I don't get all of that.
Remember now, the child's father is different from her husband. So we don't know.
She has a husband, and it's the father of the child. She's married to someone else.
Yeah, I know. Oh, so they both. So it's the stepfather that's in custody.
No, the father of
the father himself. I don't get that, right? Because to me, the legitimate thought would be kid recognize the killer, then run left, then kill him and run left the car, and run left the car. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's to me. I would not be looking in the direction of parents at this point in time, because she said the car is hijacked. It's 9 minutes later they find it. You understand? She's consistent, and so there's no holding.
No, maybe they might protect her for something. That's actually protective custody.
Okay, so the protective custody then would be implying that the parents know that there's a contract killing something going on out there, and that's why they put them in protective. That because there can't be anything else.
Yeah, the mother, not the father of the child. The mother is in protective. The father is in lockup.
Why is he in lockup?
But we don't know. We must know
that. So we have to
to me, you don't release story unless you know you
exactly.
can say something, you know what I mean? It's so foolish. You know, our media is such a foolish set of I mean, I have so much problems with our media. We either don't do the due diligence to get the information, or we do it and muck it up, you know, for the police. I mean,
it is true because they
so how do we address
partial.
Oh, two things come to the fore now. Which is it first, the chicken or the egg? Addressing how media make their reports, or addressing what seem to be underlying social concerns that lead to such incidents that the media have to report on?
Media should leave their speculation out of
everything. Just talk it facts.
Say the facts alone. No speculation. Leave the speculation out of it and just say the facts. There's nothing wrong in reporting a 9-year-old child has been murdered in their parents' car on Fairfield Road.
Yeah,
done.
That was it.
Police. Until the police reports, we don't have anything else. Pretty much. There's nothing else wrong. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
Need to be said.
Make the police go do their presentation.
Make the police go do them work.
The facts and everything else.
Absolutely.
Because even they publish that she's in protective custody. Why didn't they tell the world?
Yeah, you're letting out the puss out of the bag before the
and the thing is that it's a horrible thing, because when they do that, people are actually convicted by the population before actually
before knowing anything.
Exactly. Yeah. When people name cleared and it come out that they had nothing to do, they already destroyed.
And life done. And the husband that lock up, right? That's what them report. They don't know why the husband that lock up, but they report it. So the thing is now, we form an opinion of the husband that the husband is a murderer already.
Not the
father. You understand? Yeah. There's something wrong with the way that we're doing people. We can't take people's lives like that. Foolishness. Anyway.
Yeah, some more comments before we move on.
Yes.
Johnny said the car was an Audi. Think about it. I am with Leo. Don't think family has a connection. Johnny said too much speculation. This leads folks down the wrong path. We need credible information and sources. Angela said it's all about rating for the media, not giving facts. Peter said, but Leah, how is the media going to blow up the story without speculation? It is all about views. That is true. The views, that's all they care about. Johnny said, Jamaican journalists seem to be more social media content creators, aka yellow journalism, sensationalization.
I agree.
What happened to good journalism? That is
There's
true.
no more good journalism
over the years.
No more good journalism. As you read the stories, you realize. I have Marvet and Beverly on YouTube. Marvet says, looks like there's more to the story. Yeah, that's what they want us to think. Marvet. And Beverly says that's a horrible story. So yeah, and it's unfortunate. I mean, there's so much stories that burst every day, and it becomes a sensational story. Then you hear nothing about it again. Not even
follow up.
Nothing. You hear nothing.
Not even if a charge later.
Not a charge later on. You know, or the person get up. You just know that if somebody gone to jail, and once they gone to jail, and lock up, and that's it.
You know, as you talk about the story being paused, did they ever bury Mr. Smith?
I find out long after that he was
buried.
Nothing. They cremated his body. The article said he was cremated by his family. They didn't want big spectacle.
I saw a big article about the police officer that was killed on duty at that time, but I never saw anything about him.
Yeah. His funeral.
The police officer who died in the accident?
Yeah. He was from St. Anne's Bay. St. Anne's, that area. He had a big funeral.
Okay. Yeah. I still want to raise the issue. Are we seeing this spate of violence in Jamaica because of lack of education, or is it just poverty that is causing this?
Poverty doesn't cause crime, but it is a contributor of the reason why crime happened, right? But I think that our moral fiber, that thing that we had in our growing up before, where religion dictated how we relate to each other, people respect for God, people respect for that all of that is gone, because now we just like the media is dictating how we think and who we throw out with the baby with the bath water. And that's what the media is doing these days. And so everybody's in a protective mode, and everybody's in this, they've lost their root. And because you lost your root, you are clinging on to other things, everything that's out there to make yourself look good. And so that means blaming other persons. And that's all we are seeing coming out of Jamaica these days. Politicians blaming another person because they think that, by blaming this person, I will look good. I will look like the good guy. And I can post that on social media, And so it's all about blaming because we don't have a root. And I remember Marcus Garvey said, we don't know which part we come from. We don't know where we go. And we don't have that fiber, that glue that holds us together, at least as a basic society. We don't have that anymore.
So you're saying that the leadership, what I'm hearing, and perhaps, is that the leadership is constantly playing that blame game. Families have abandoned their responsibility to the rest of the family members and blaming everybody else about what is happening.
Of course.
How do we center it now?
Sorry? What you say?
How do we center it?
That's so hard to do.
That's the hard.
You already gone through the gate.
Gone.
You have to start with the younger generation.
Everything is transactional now. People will kill their mother for money. They will kill them brother and their sister for property, and because you have nothing that's holding you from it. The only thing that's important is that dollar that you think is gonna make a better life for you.
Yeah, that's hard to do.
That's a hard, very hard to get. It's really hard. Everything transactional now. That's a hard, very hard to get. Somebody have their device on.
Sorry about that.
But yeah, I agree with you, Leo. And the thing is that you notice when you're saying that they're thinking their own, it's the mind. Like their mind are so, I don't know what happened. Like how when you have your family, they raise you to, be kind, be respectful, how to deal with anger. They have nobody teaching them. So the first thing is always to attack. Like you get upset, the first thing you're thinking, let me go draw a knife. If you see a lot of the crimes with family, they're chopping up, they're stabbing, or you get a gun. Like your the one with the father that was upset at his son that literally took the gun and murdered his son in front of everybody, like their brain chip. So I don't think much can be done for this generation. These older ones, they're gonna have to start from the root, from the babies in basic school, primary school, teaching them how to deal with these issues, how to deal with anger, how to express themselves, because these ones are far gone. It's sad to say. It's like, what can you do? You can't give them the social program. Like, for instance, they said they wanted work. Communities are saying they wanted work. They have the highway building, and I'm sure if you saw it in the news, where they gave them work from the community. What happened? They went on the site to rob the site. Then one set go for rob, one next set go for rob, then buck up on each other, end up killing one set. Now, remember, they're complaining they have no jobs, and jobs are being provided, but yet still they're robbing the job sites. So you give them what they ask for, and they're still committing these crimes. So what can be done? Like, I don't know.
Perhaps, Michelle, is a matter of looking to see whether or not they needed to provide training so that when these individuals go on the job site, they can earn a decent income rather than just simply go as a laborer to be instructed and directed by all the other people, foreigners usually, who are on these construction sites. So perhaps it's a social resentment of what it is that they are being.
I don't think it's a resentment. It might be a part, but if our leaders are getting away with corruptive behavior, then it makes sense that I'm going to take some comments here from YouTube. But if our leaders are getting away with murder, with corruptive behavior, what's and listen, when we start to if a person gains their riches or their wealth by way of doing wrong, and we elevate them as respected persons of our society, this is where we go wrong. If we know that the person is doing wrongs, we know that that's how the person make them money, we know that this person continually kill, rob, and murder and take away people's things, and we still elevate them as a respectable thing. This is where we all of our thought processes. Yeah,
just to add, not to cut you, but just to add on what Dr. Diana said about offering other things for these workers. Remember, Heart Trust offer a lot of training programs for these to learn how to do mason work, electrical work, and give them certification so they can actually go on these sites, because I see the ads for them to get these training. So the government is offering that they say they need, they just don't want it that way. And as Leo said, they see the other big man not doing much, but gaining all this wealth, money, driving big car and all that stuff. To them, okay, that's the easier way to do it. No example. When we hear about people bleeding the government ministries and they see nothing happening, what do you think? They're like, okay, let me go get my pie too. Let me go target them. Now they start going into different communities and targeting hardworking people. No example.
Here's Beverly says, the theory is reasonable, and to add that the fact that children spend a lot of time on social media, computers, so many things appear impersonal and unreal to them. Example, violence, and because nowadays you go to social media, and as soon as an accident happens, 1,000 people surround with them phone because they want to catch the dead man, a roll ground, people on social media. Where did all that come from? I know for a fact that America doesn't do them dead citizens on social media.
Yeah, that's a good point. I never see no video circulating.
You don't see people showing them dead people.
Manage that then. That is one area that we could manage as a short-term fix, that the social media people could block such images in Jamaica. If there's an accident, nobody.
I don't know that Jamaica has the ability to block those kind of things on.
And how they block it in America, Leo?
Huh?
America bigger than we. How them block it in America?
No. There's just a law.
Yeah, I don't see no videos.
No video, or even still picture of a person, a citizen died. They don't do that. You will not see. You will see the cloth over the person, but you not see the person. And you not see that person at all. So these things are, and police, once there's an accident, police, the first person that gets there is either police or fan, and they cordon the area around. Nobody can get in there. But
let me take a few comments. Lawton Wilkinson says, could it be stressful situations in people's life that causes them to do the beastly acts? Angela Augusta says, lack of empathy, lack of respect for life, heart.
I think I read those already.
Okay.
Michael Tomlinson said Jamaicans are forever in denial. Joni said many root causes impact crime, poverty, apathy to a few, no infrastructure, no social decorum, ethics, and moral. It starts with the most basic principles. Joni said there are so many converging and diverging factors. Jude said, I agree with Leo. A total breakdown of values and morals, lack of respect for oneself, breakdown of the family structure. Example, back in the days, teachers were revered. That is true. Now parents go to school to beat the teachers. How can we move forward? Faye said, how much greed and the need to get rich fast scheme. Michael said, ganja and Rasta mentality have devastated Jamaica over the last 50 years. Philip said, the quick rich mentality is taking over. Joni said, elevation sent the wrong message, especially with the gap in the social structure, monitoring media, and the glorification of things far out of the reach and not part of their reality. There is a way. I traveled to Costa Rica and they block aspects of social media as well as television programs. VM said they tried to do what Kobe and his wife, they tried to do that. Yeah, with the police officers. Kobe and his wife sued them. Remember, we don't see the pictures, remember? Kobe Bryant, when he died.
Yes.
Yeah, the wife sued. I noticed you don't see any picture. Lorna said, yes, I agree that Jamaicans are too quick to advertise crucial things on the internet. Shaking my head.
You know, the other thing that I'm going to be criticized for this, but it doesn't matter. There are a lot of people who do wrongs, right? Intentionally do wrong, and you get up and go call God name tomorrow morning. Oh, God this and God that and God this, and you wonder to yourself, oh God coming to you. How is it that you are called on God name, but you are the same one that did the wrong? I mean, where does that come from? And that's how we grow up. I mean, and trust me, we know them people there. Yes, we do.
I want to go back to a comment that I see here, where Michael Tomlinson says ganja and Rasta mentality have devastated Jamaica over the last 50 years. But I want to not agree with you, Michael, on this, because I don't believe that the Rastafarian philosophy is a negative one. I believe that they're grounded in certain principles of family and support and upliftment, that if one done more negativity. So I just want to say that I'm not agreeing.
Well, I think I kind of understand where you wanted to go with that, but a true Rasta is not a violent man. Okay, yeah. So I kind of understand where he's going. And I don't think ganja has anything to do with that either. All right. But there is a bad man mentality that started back in the 60s with the two of our main gangs that are there.
Not out of Rastafarianism.
Say that again.
But not because
it's not out of Rastafarianism. No, not at all. It was gang related and bad manism. We used to call them rude boy, and that mentality grew and became a big part of our culture. It's the part of our culture that created dancehall culture. Rastaman didn't create dancehall culture. Rastaman created roots and culture. You understand? Dancehall culture come from bad manism, where we talk about gun and gal and kill boy, and yeah, that's what the rude boy culture come from. And so he may have used the wrong term. So dancehall now, right, is now the main reggae king out there that everybody runs towards, right? And which is great to have this type of music that spread the word of Jamaica, but when it's spreading the wrong thing is where I have a problem with it. When people have to respond to it, people respond. I play music all day long. Listen, I get caught up into the vibe sometimes on a Friday night, and when I'm playing music and you play a rhythm and the other rhythm sound nice, man, and you're jumping and all of a sudden you hear some dirty things and I feel so boom and just change. You know, come and say to myself, Jesus Christ, we can't play this, you know? So it's really hard when you get into the 2000 and 2010 the music. You cannot trust it because you don't know what will come out of your mouth, you know? And so that has something to do with that.
Lyrics, I'm uncertain, Leo.
Yeah, we're uncertain.
Tony said Jamaicans have become the definition of deplorable, not all Jamaicans. Michael said Rastafarianism, loss of respect for authority, ganja mentality, illegally earned money. What your problem with Rastas, Michael?
Well, yeah, okay, so here goes. Diane probably can tell you what the law is in Jamaica, right? Most states here legalize, they decriminalize it here in the United States, right? But the federal government still have a 5-year sentence on ganja here in America, all right? And I know that during the previous government, they decriminalized a certain amount that you
2
can.
ounces. You can have 2 ounces on you.
Right.
But you know what funny?
Entitled to them 5 plants in them backyard, no more than 5 plants. And every member of the household can have 5 plants. So the more in the yard, the better, I suppose.
You know what came out last week? And I can't find the article. That ganja is good for the fight with COVID. I don't know if you saw that.
Sure.
And no, doctor said it. Don't case that's true. And also now another Caribbean country is going to export marijuana. Which country? I think Guyana, one of them.
Export marijuana or export cannabis.
Cannabis.
Okay. I have to be very careful there.
Yeah, Tony said
the federal government that carried. Listen, I bought CBD in a CBD, a spray that for pain, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
For my foot. I mean, kind of. And I bought it in Jamaica, and it's a spray. And I bought it from the pharmacist in Jamaica. And somebody said to me, "Oh, you can carry through the airport, man." I said, "No, I am not carrying no damn thing through the airport." That's sure. When I got to the airport, I threw it away because I'm not going to be answering no question whether or not this is
ganja.
Let me read some comments. Joni said, "Where is the research of such a claim about Rastafarianism? Let's not point fingers. When criminalism visits every strata of society, even Rain Michael Telwell's song novel was a good person who struggled to fit in. Look at the whole story." Sandra said, "I agree with what Leah's saying, going back to our roots and morals. It starts there. Everything is transactional, so sad. I'm speechless at this point." Lorna said, "There is a greedy mentality that has taken over our culture and everyone wants to get rich quick. What happened to working hard and saving? One cocoa, full basket. This still works." Jean said, "We are not burning Rasta, but I cannot believe they contributed to the dirty lyrics and violence on their music." Which Rasta sing dirty music? Jude said, Michael, see how first world government latch on to the commercialization of weed. Master, you better go buy some weed stocks. That is true. I'm surprised I see it. But marijuana is used in so many things now, even with the cancer stuff. Like people are using it a lot.
Beverly Frey says, "Cannot blame Rasta for crime, and what about crime committed in Christianity?" That's a good one.
And really and truly, I think that generally we all can agree that Rastafarism is not to be blamed for the social ills. I think that we have agreed reasonably that it goes back to family and that moral value. You know, Leo speaks of the moral fiber, Michelle agreed, and so too the participants, friends online. That is really that moral fiber that is missing. And I think we need to go back to community level, starting with the family, to begin to inculcate from in the youngest, as Michelle said, that feeling of care and empathy. We used to say a little thing in school, I don't remember, little words of kindness, little deeds of love, and makes this something, you know. We need to get to the point where children are reciting things like this as opposed to unacceptable lyrics. But that is probably all I want to say on this for today.
So something we have to, in order for us to get back to creating the fiber, there are certain things that were in place that we kick out, right? For good cause, right? We kick them out, but when we kick them out, we open the gate for everything else. So, for example, kids must be seen and not heard. There's a reason why that was in play, right? It is to protect against a kid being disrespectful to an adult and saying wrong things in front of adults. But we come to realizing that we are not allowing the kids now to say really what they feel and what they want. So we kick out that thing. And by kicking it out, we open up the floodgates for kids to say anything, anywhere, anytime. And, you know, there's nothing you can do about it because the kids now is open up to adult stuff. That's what it is. That's what this is. So we gave away, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but once we open the gate for certain things about our morals, then the whole gate just fly open. That's what it is. And we don't know how to control it.
So we've lost it now.
Yeah, but I think, you know, like when I thought about it, like sometimes I have discussion, I thought about it. Like a lot of the parents, you know, like how before you had parents who were involved, you know, with their school, with their children being home and taking care. And then now people are so working or whatever they're doing, parents are doing. They no longer had the time to be with their children, you know, to raise them and teach them certain morals and whatever. So they're learning it from the TV, they're learning it from their friends, you know, like they're not. So it's gonna be an effort where the family have to take back their family. And
but there it goes again.
So we can solve this crime monster, because no matter what, because when I think about it, I'm like, all right, we go to the SOE in Jamaica, the Zozos or whatever. But I'm like, you can't do nothing about
it. Do forever.
They are determined to do something. They're going to find a way to do it. If they wait till the police turn them back and then go do it, you cannot stop it. Or when they have anger at home, arguing and take out a knife, how the police go stop that? There's nothing that can be done.
You are saying exactly what I just said a while ago in a different way. All right? Because here's another activity that was present in our lives back in the day that has I'm not saying that I am putting up with it or I'm not supporting or whatever. I'm just saying it. Once upon a time, men ruled, right? Once upon a time, men was the king of the castle. Once upon a time, men were the breadwinners that allowed women to stay home and take care of the child and groom the child into an adult. And no, that doesn't, it was a security gate. It was a security gate to help to make sure that one parent is at home that can make sure that the child goes to school and the child gets the dinner, and whether or not you're poor or rich, you still have the same value system. Now, the gate open, and now women saying, listen, me can work as much money as you are and more too, and you're not paying me enough, and me not, just like how me take care of this, that. Trust me, these are the things that the barriers that were set by them English people that before 1960, and those were the things that were kind of holding us together in a way. But they were obviously bad things. But there's no way that you can have your cake and eat it.
Well, I am having my cake and I eat it too. I'm a hard-working woman. I own my own business, but I wake up every morning at 6:30, get my child ready, drop him at school, work a full day, go back and pick him up. His father's involved, but he goes to work earlier than I want my son to go to school. So you know what, we trade off. The weekend, he handles everything. I relax on the weekend. But we're trying to raise him the right way. But we make an effort to do it. We don't say because I'm working X amount of hours.
That extra effort. That's right.
Yeah, like let my child suffer. I want him to be well-rounded so he's not a burden on society or a terrorist to any young lady out there. So I'm trying to raise them the right way. And parents have to do that. They have to be less selfish.
Have to be intentional. Have to be intentional.
Yes,
okay.
Yes. And create, like if you're not going to be there, you find somebody. I've had friends who can do it. So they have nannies. They hire nannies to take that hour, like where they can be with the child, and then they take over at night. Be intentional or get them involved in activities like soccer, swimming, basketball, tennis, because they do learn things from having those things done. You have free ones in your community. You could take them to the library. You have to get them involved and you have to play your part as a parent.
Okay, I'd like to say this to you, that the reason some of these things are nationally accepted as part of the way we carry ourselves or carried ourselves back then is because not every parent can do what you do, because not every parent had enough financial strength to allow their kids to do what they do. Because back in our days, the banana man was the strong man, but his pay was really minimal. But he was able to take care of his family, but his wife was staying at home and taking care of the kids, making sure they got to school, making sure they get vaccination, and then she would bring him his lunch because he not have enough money to buy lunch out there. So she would bring him lunch down to the wharf, and so the family unit was strengthened because she knew her role and he knows her role. So this was an accepted thing right across the country. And so because of those acceptable things, the people who don't have money can live morally strong life, and the people who have a lot of money can live morally strong life. And it's not a one-man thing. It's really
a team effort. Yeah, I used to have that the grandparent.
It all goes back to parenting. And let us move beyond the banana man. We're not in the banana man era. We are now in this phase of our development in Jamaica. We're on the verge of celebrating 60 years. What can we do now to rescue our country? And
let's take some comments first. Let's take some comments first before we go there.
There is a need to look at parenting and family structure.
Okay. Just said yesterday I read an article, see I wasn't lying, about how positive the cannabis can be in treating COVID. See, Philip says, back to the basic, start from the home, school, and community. Lorna said, people are confusing Rasta and people with dreadlocks. Two completely different group of people. That is true. If you go to prison, see a lot of them with locks, they're not Rastas. Lala said, it's still about good parenting. Lon said, the problem is that children are having children, So a lot of the parents need to be taught themselves so how they can teach their children. It is sad. Lorna said, Leo, once upon a time, grown people were having children. True, grandma was older and would oversee the kids. I don't know. Now children having baby and grandma in the 30s and working. Kids have no guidance. Joni said, Leo, there is a thing, adoption without conscience and strong moral foundation. Lala said, no, Leo, most families need 2 incomes, still about intentional parenting. Oh, one thing I noticed that they just said, not to cut off anybody, but before our time, grandparents were having children at 12-year-old and 14-year-old and 15-year-old, but yet still we didn't have these problems. So I don't know if the problem children having children, because they were having children.
That is not that, because our age the age of consent has moved from 12 to 14 and now it's 16. So I mean that that really doesn't, to me, doesn't make any big difference as to whether or not you. To me, it was that fiber that was created, that understanding among families, whether you're rich or poor, that when you go to the supermarket, I'm going to take your comments, guys. When you go to the supermarket and the cashier takes your dollar for 80 cents and give you back $2.20, that you should give them back the 20 cents, the $2, right? You shouldn't be celebrating that you made $2 by going to the supermarket. You should make sure that the person protect their job by not coming up short later on. These are the things that I'm talking about. We take these little things for granted, but it has an effect. When you get $2 extra from a cashier, you put the cashier's job at risk at the end of the day because the person made a mistake. He's gonna get fired. And so here we are. We're not thinking about anybody else other than our own self because we made a $2, but we don't care about the person who's gonna lose their job. This is where I'm talking about. That fiber, that little bit of it, the multitude of small things that we do wrong and we say wrong, and those are what causing our major problems now. Why a man or 2 women, whomever the killers were able to cut off a little boy neck, a 9-year-old neck, who had no threat to them. That's why.
Yeah, that is true, Leo. That is true. I even went like with the teachers, like the children go home and say, oh, the teacher said this. And instead of correcting the child or whatever, they run up to the school to beat off the teacher. So what are you teaching the child? You know what I mean? So these things, and they bring home stuff that you never bought them, and you're accepting it. You see a child with a bag of money, apple, whatever. You don't ask the child where the child get it from. You take a portion of the money for yourself to go buy clothes or buy food. So what are you teaching that child? It starts small, then they get bigger. They say, Mr. Brown with this shop. I say, all right, let me go rob Mr. Brown, because you know what? Mommy go accept this money. You should be turning over the child to the police. They're robbers, you know what I mean? You have to do your part.
Here's Beverly says, this discussion is highlighting the deep-seated prejudices and many Jamaicans harbor towards Rasta. You are correct, Leo, but by the factors that contributed some of the women ruling the castle, so to speak, are many. Chief among them is that many men have given up their responsibility, so women jumped in. I don't think so. I think more so is that the laws come into play and men have to stand there because they have to be very, very careful. They have to be very careful about what they do and how they do things. Because they can, as far as sex is concerned, you have to be very careful with the woman that you married to, because you can end up being a rapist. The laws are protecting the vulnerable in the society, and without thinking about the other person on the other side. And so it's not necessarily that women are jumping in, but yet they're forced to jump in because the men are kind of being protecting themselves.
Okay, just says Leo spot on. Yeah, he wake up late this morning and he just, and I. So I just say, preach, Leo. Say, I agree with you, Leo. You're preaching the gospel today. It's a Sabbath.
And look how far I'm from church. Lord have mercy. And even got 7-day church this morning.
No, but we have our own gathering here. It's called a fellowship. And I think that the intent of church gathering is to inform and educate and to support and guide. And that's what we're doing. So this is our Church Without Borders. How about that? Yeah. For all to worship and celebrate. And on that matter, I want for us to step away from what we all have agreed that we need to look at the moral fiber, we need to look at family, we need for family to become community and community to then become the society that we want, starting with parenting. And to acknowledge that this year we celebrate as a nation 60 years of independence. And I'm not so sure whether or not I should put independence in quotes, because we could well debate whether or not we've been independent or what is independence. But that aside, we celebrate 60 years. And I want to ask Michelle and I want to ask Leon, and our audience as well, how do we mark this period in our own way to celebrate 60 years? What would you want to see done in this space as we celebrate 60 years?
Well, I'm from the younger generation. I don't see much as happening. I see things regressing. So I don't know. I guess you guys could tell me what, the changes along every 10 years, what has happened for Jamaica. I don't know. There's so many things that are wrong to celebrate. But I'll think about it for another day.
So you want for us to perhaps ask our audience then, between 62 and 72, what was the most significant thing that happened in Jamaica? And then another show would say the next 10 years, what was the most significant thing that happened in Jamaica? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Leo, what are your thoughts?
All right. So I'm going to make a big announcement now before the show ends, right?
Yes.
That today is my last day on the show. And Diana and Michelle will be here with you guys at least for another year, because I need to get my stuff together. I'm doing a class and it's pulling me a lot and I need to concentrate on it. And so I'll miss you guys. I'll miss your comments and I'll miss the whole
idea. Don't cry, Dr. Diana.
Chatting and getting upset and getting mad and getting this and but all of that, all of this, the emotion and stuff, I'll miss that on a Saturday morning and a Tuesday night. But I want you to understand that I need to do this to further my space in life. 60 years also.
Just if I might comment on that, Leo, that this idea of getting all three of us together was Leo's idea of allowing us to interact with you there in space and to create all these things. But everybody has to advance in different ways to fulfill their own dreams and desires. And the one Leo will take on book learning. And we have to support him. So he's pursuing his doctoral study. It is a challenge for anybody who studies at any level and more so at that level. And we want to support him. So we will continue the same title of the show. And any Saturday morning, Leo feel like waking up and joining us, or Tuesday night, he will come on. So I have that commitment from him that he will come on periodically, but we are not holding him to it that he must turn up on a Saturday morning. All right, so he will be missed, but he must focus on his work because we're not taking no failure. We have no more money.
He better not fail.
No exam.
He better not fail.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm coming to Jamaica.
Yeah, and some of the comments while you made your statement, Leo, and he said, "Oh no, Leo, I'm going to miss you too." Diana said, "Going to miss you, Leo." Carlene said, "We are going to miss you, Leo." Jean said, "Oh my God, the place not nice again." Crying. Peter said, Leo, you cannot give us 1 hour. Where's the love? Lala said, we miss you. Good luck, Leo. Lana said, oh no, Leo, we are going to miss you. Johnny said, all the best in your endeavors. We will miss your input, enthusiasm, and jokes. God bless. Jean said, Leo, you'll be missed, but we'll work with the queen. Jude said, good luck in your endeavors, Leo. Johnny said, can you please drop by? They're asking you to drop by. Donna said, I'm going to miss the excitement you bring to the table. Good luck on your endeavors. Sandra said, no, Leo, we are going to miss you. We support all that you do. Philip said, you should appoint or select a replacement before you leave. Congrats on moving forward. Thanks for your continuum or trinium. I don't know. Faye said, all the best, Leo. Kasi said, we miss you, Leo. I've been here, there, and understand. Peter said, oh, Dr. Yana, you're so sweet. Well, we have you to keep him in line with his studies. Leo said, VM said, we will miss you, Leo. You have looked sad from morning. Oh, I guess we kind of want to cry. Lorna said, good luck, Leo. Walk good. Alicia said, there is so much negativity of Jamaica on social media. So happy to see kind of representation. Okay, Johnny said, I know about the commitment to study on the doctoral level. You'll do well. Carlene said, all the best in your study, Dr. Leo. You ain't gonna come back as a doctor. So, you know.
All right, so on 60th, it actually represents.
Leo, one more comment before, and I want to quote John F. Kennedy. He says, we must find time to stop and thank the people who make a difference in our lives. And so I am deliberately stopping right now for us to say, thank you, Leo, for what you've done and what you will continue to do. And we will wake you up on Saturday morning, never mind. Michelle, agree?
I agree. You know, I always chat to Leo every second, so it's good.
All right, Leo, go on now.
All right, so when we celebrate these milestones on Jamaica, I feel like, you know, I am also celebrating my birthday, right? Because I am round about the same, I'm right about the same age as our country, and it used to be a very good feeling for me in independence in my early days. Independence was better than Christmas in the early days.
Independence celebration.
Yeah, there was so many more things to do during independence, because I've been to Jamaica independence in the past how many years? Every year I go down for independence, but it never is any excitement. It's just another day. Well, when I was growing up, every community had something going on, not just music playing. There would be swimming competition, diving competition, bunny eating competition, dancing competition. Every community had something going for at least 2 weeks going up to the 6th of August. Exciting stuff. We don't do that no more. The only thing that we do is we go to Orcharius and we walk around and shop the whole day and listen to music play on the side of the street. That to me is un-Jamaican. And so when we come to 60th, the things that we are celebrating is just 60 damn years, right? It's not 60 years of culture and of doing things. It's 60 years alone. Years. Time running some. But if we still have our communities developed in a way that bring our culture together and be creative, because we used to have things that, you know, create things that never existed before, and it was fun to do, but we don't have that anymore. And so independence don't represent what me, you know, represent anymore. So 60 years, you know, mean much to me, but when the time comes around for like festival song competition, you know, I'll you know, it'll be out there and whatever, you know, but that's it. But it should be a big thing. It should be a humongous thing. And not just for the rich, for the poor, everybody.
For Jamaicans.
Jamaicans.
All right. And Leo, I like your expression of sentiment, and I see Jean Wignall agreeing in capitals, say in a nice again. But I want to put a challenge out as we go forward, that you say that the celebration is 6 weeks leading up to August 6th. And I'm going to make this space here that we have, Michelle, as we go forward, and Leo, that we recognize 6 months leading up to August 6th, that within that 6-month period, we look at the different things and celebrations and even have mock or such celebrations within our metaverse called Jamaica First. So here in this space, as we go forward on a Saturday morning, for 6 months leading up to August 6th, we begin to initiate the kind of celebrations that Jean says she makes, the kind of celebrations that Leo has spoken about, so that we can recognize and celebrate. Also, I think we should identify 60 people or so who we want to talk about, celebrate for whatever reasons as we go forward. Let us find our ways of making this celebration, recognize the culture, the people, the values that have been good to us as a country. What says you, Mish?
Well, that sounds good, but I think what I want to do also is I'm going to take the time to research what has happened in 60 years. That is for, celebrate. Because I said, maybe because I'm not that young, but you know what I mean? I really haven't seen it, I have to go do some research.
Put it this way, you missed 20 years. How's that? You missed the first 20 years.
We have put on me here. But I don't know. So I'll have to research, like to get a point of where we were at then. I know we became, not really free of the Queen, but to see what has happened over the years, that maybe every 10 years, what has happened. Because right now, it's like we're at a standstill and nothing, you know what I mean? I haven't seen much. I don't know.
In the 60s politically, that was the highlight of academic political games. That's where the highest of the highest played with politics, and they were the best politicians at the time. In the 70s, the wars broke out, the political wars, the actual political fighting and killing and stuff in the 70s. 80s, that died down. But we moved from Jamaica in the 80s. So we don't know what happened after that.
So the 80s is when we went to school.
I guess in the 80s, things are pretty much calm, because I didn't see much like what's happening. But I know in the 2000s, that's when the murder, the murder rate and all this scamming and everything start getting out of hand.
So the 90s a scam. The 90s decade is a scamming decade. It's the rise of scam, right?
No, 2000.
Oh, it's 2000. Okay.
What's coming? I just talk about scamming, Leo and Michelle. Was scamming influenced by Nigeria? Because I remember a time when it used to be the people in Nigeria who was scamming people left, right, and center. What happened?
That's
you really want to say that? You want to say that?
I don't know, but I really remember that Nigeria had a reputation for scamming. They would send all these emails that would say that somebody
that you get money.
Some phishing, when emails just started to send phishing emails out. So you say you won how much $100 million? All you need to do is to send $40,000. Come, send us your bank account. But then,
that when she first got one of those emails, she wrote back and told them to make the deductions to cover the cost and send her the net. She was quite happy with that. She never got a response.
Well, I don't know where the scamming come from, but I listened to one of them telephone calls of a scammer talking to an American, and you say to yourself,
American, you can't tell say I scam this. you can't tell say I scam this. So, Mr. say, how you so damn fool to make somebody a call and send money? That I mean, to me, you know, it's fool on fool.
Yeah. Like it was crazy. And then what was so crazy is that when they did a report about who were getting scammed, it's like the most educated people, like doctors, lawyers, senators, like all these people, pastors, who supposed to know better than yeah.
They called me before, you know. I mean, just hang up the phone one time. I mean, the next time he called me and say, Virgin, don't call back. Don't call this number again. But the thing is, you know, you can't scam a scammer, right? So a Jamaican, I don't know that them would try to scam a Jamaican, right?
They have.
Overseas. Them even try scamming you right here. No, them ask you to send credit or to say that them send you credit in error and you must send back the credit of $200 or something.
Oh, is that right? Oh, wow.
Them try all kind of foolishness like that. So them try other ways, but
it's just to me, it's just so hard for me to understand why a person could call another person and say money. I mean, it's just
you know, sir, but you go back to what you said earlier, you know, this whole greed.
Yeah.
And the need for more because you never play lotto. You know why you think all of a sudden you get the lotto, and then why you go spend all you because they're thinking ahead. Okay, all right, if I get 100 million, nothing wrong with giving them $30,000. How the hell, you know, like, so that's how the greed mentality.
Yeah,
that's
it's not making sense, but I guess it didn't make sense to them, and they make money, you know. But why? And then now we are elevating. Somebody used the term elevating the scammers as, you know, top class citizens.
Yeah, because they start businesses, which I just saw an article last night that what they're doing now, the police in Jamaica department, the JCF, is targeting areas where they have known scammers. So you just see the police vehicles and the soldier truck going through that have legitimate businesses, and they're going to, you know, to collect those people.
You see how far America take it? America take it as far as saying, sign a document with us that that we can come and check your bank account to see where you get your money, your American dollars from. In one different country. That's as far as America take it.
Yeah, I have to show my tax. I have to show my tax documents. I want to work for. That's why I'm like, no, that's okay.
You know, so we, instead of us creating a law that will prevent things like this, we allow it to continue and collect the benefits also, and build our homes and our houses and those monies. And we feel good that somebody who was doing wrong give us the money to build our home. And we can live in it. All right, too.
But it's probably an application of responsibility by our governmental systems, in that these scammers take care of the development and growth of their communities. And so people support them because them get food, them when Christmas come, them get gift for them and then picnic and all of that, because the state not taking the responsibilities or abandon the responsibility to somebody, then farm it out to somebody else. So me take it up, you know. I don't know, social issues. Michelle, a lot of comments.
There are, let me see, because it came up again. You see, Leo, I left it shop to know I get my phone.
You must send your phone.
Ina said, Leo, are you ever going back to playing oldies on Facebook or even Dallas Black on Me? Miss those programs. Yeah, you have your program every.
I still have my program on Mighty Enforcers. We can't play music on Facebook anymore. I came off of Facebook 2017 because you know, I play recordings.
Yeah.
And there's a law against, well, Facebook is opened up for the copywriters to come in and block the DJs who are playing, or the selectors who are playing on Facebook. So I play every weekend. I play for 9 hours, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday
on Mighty Enforcers. So just go search for Mighty Enforcers and you'll find it.
Right. Okay, Diana said, I remember early teens, my nana going off on a scammer telling them what they could do to their mama. When she realized that I heard, she told my little girl, next time, close your eyes. I was really puzzled on how to close my ears. I guess she said, oh, close your ears. Jean said, they try it with us too. Here, a call from Jamaica, call to tell us we win money. Alicia said, it's only a scam when the government don't get a cut. Diana says, Jean said, no, Jamaica want every information from us living in the US on our accounts in Jamaica, even asking for our social security number, which is true. Just say here in Canada, someone with a thick Southern Asian accent call you to tell you that your SIN has been used for illegal activity. Then when you ask their name, they say Michael or John. VM said that means you should start marching preparation for August 6th. I get, oh yeah, so he said we should start in.
Question, yeah. How does this scam, the money come to Jamaica?
You go to Western Union.
Western Union?
Or they have, that's why I know they huh? Remember they had to shut down all the Western Unions, even across the island, they were shut. So now they require certain documents, like you have to have ID and everything now to collect money.
All right. My question is, how does the money get there? Is Western Union?
Yeah, they used to use Western Union to send it, or you do wire transfers like through a bank or something. But it was mostly Western Union.
There's no way to ask a question about legitimacy of funds coming into the country.
There wasn't, but now they changed it now. Because of that, remember Western Union closed like what, 2 years ago? They had to close down and set up the entire system over.
Okay.
To make it more difficult to collect money. And also they had people coming to the US to collect the money and bring it back.
Another thing that they do to me is that they send gift cards.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's Sharon Watson says, they scammed an elderly lady here in Florida that I know. She was so happy to help her daughter that was struggling that she fell for and ended up with a massive stroke.
Yeah.
Yes, Sharon, it was on the 60 Minutes. I have been called by Jamaican scammers and I cussed them out.
Yeah, then call. Johnny said Cash App as well. For your information, the money to Cash App will not be taxable.
No,
if
Cash App can't go across. Cash App can't go to Jamaica.
Cash App not go across. But no. for the Cash App, it's only for if it's a business transaction, you'll get tax.
Yeah.
Not if it's like personal. Caroline said we have the Money Laundering Act. That is true. Alicia said total madness. I told them nope, you don't need SS number in Jamaica. They are crazy. Jane said Western Union and their confederate here in the US. No, you only can do certain amount for the month. Yeah, they had to refund.
All right. So I don't have a problem with the Social Security in Jamaica if you're opening a bank account that's an American bank account. Because America still wants to know that so that they can tax you on the money that you deposit in a bank, in an American bank, a US bank account in Jamaica.
And it's not just tax, Leo. There's an exemption because there's an arrangement between both countries that if you're already taxed in Jamaica, that they wouldn't tax you again there if you declare it.
All right, but I'm saying if it's a US bank account I'm opening in Jamaica, I don't have a problem with that. If I'm opening a Jamaican bank account in Jamaica, you don't need my Social Security number.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, use a TRN. That's the number, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Right, because that's the Jamaican equivalent.
Yeah, and the thing is that, like I said, I would not provide them with the information when I went to get another account. And then because, some of them do sell the information. That's what scammers, when they say they find a book with numbers, like these institutions will sell your information to scammers. And
I was disappointed. I went to open a bank account, right?
You open now?
No, I went to open a bank account in Jamaica and they wanted proof of my income, meaning that I give them a copy of my W-2.
Taxes or a letter from an employer.
They didn't ask for that. They asked for either W-2 or my tax returns. And I said, no.
So did that work?
It didn't open.
Same with me. I didn't.
I just don't know why I need to give a bank my source of income to open a checking account. I think all you need is my business. If I'm opening a business account, you need my bank resolution and all that stuff. And you can get my social security because I'm opening a foreign account. But I don't think that I needed to give you my source of income. I told him no, it's okay.
Yeah, same with me. No. Alicia said, why I paid the tax already. Jean said, Leo, I have a problem. You can't trust the people in the bank with your social security number. Sorry. Yeah, I don't trust them with anything.
They can't do nothing, man. They can't do nothing. Listen, there's one thing I do know. You know, if I get scammed America, I know me cause it, okay? But there's a lot of systems in place here to protect the man, you know, and so we do have watches on our bank accounts. We have watches on our social security number. I mean, so it you know, it's kind of hard for someone to take my social security number without me knowing within a week or a couple of days or even a day that something is not going on. And as long as I am not the person who is doing the wrongdoing, the bank will
reimburse immediately.
Reimburse me. Yes. That now happened at me.
No question asked, and just say, all right.
Just say,
obviously it's not you. Yeah, and put it back. That's what I like.
Yeah.
So I don't do nothing in Jamaica.
Anyway, Lord of mercy.
Time flying when you have funny. It's a few minutes up to midday. Michelle, and I'm going to switch it up a little bit. Somebody pointed out that we have to start.
Can I get these comments?
Yeah.
Beverly says they send it through Western Union. Now they take your driver's license info and your address.
Yeah.
Sharon says, I cussed out one of those so bad. He said he was coming to mess me up.
Yeah, they keep threatening people.
Ask him where I live. He gave me my PO box address. Go figure.
Can I give a PO box address? That's the way you live. You're too terrible. Oh, God.
Oh, God.
What were you going to what are you going to say, Dr. Diana?
No, I just wanted to say that as we look into the last 15 minutes or so of the show, there is another sad story, and I just want to mention it because I forgot it in the news. But there was this double murder somewhere in St. James, and one of the victims was a 15-year-old girl. I don't know if you saw the story.
Oh, yes, I
She had been murdered alongside her supposed 25-year-old boyfriend with whom she had been living. And, you know, the lamentation of her father, that he had raised her as one of 3 children as a single parent, and she ran away from home. He didn't know where she was, but he would speak to her on the phone, begging her to come back. And then to come now to have to identify his 15-year-old daughter, a victim of crime, of a brutal murder, within walking distance, it would seem, of his house, because he never know that that's where. And it was one of those stories that stuck with me since it happened during the week. I don't know how I forget to mention it. But a village need to raise, because somebody must know, say the man down there, so, and could I tell him, say, it's down there, so she there, so that him could go get her. Sadie, man.
That's that wicked.
I don't know that. Do you think that Jamaicans would intervene in a girl, a 15-year-old girl living with a man?
Oh, in my time, they do. They go ask where you come from.
I'm talking no. I'm not. No.
That's the problem.
No.
Yeah, no.
Nobody not intervening in that, because you don't know who the man is that will shoot you. I mean, there's no way at all that you can blame anybody for that, because nobody is not going to intervene in that situation. Everybody afraid I get shot.
Yeah, but not even the police helped him, because he said he made several reports.
Absolutely.
And nothing of it. And like he knew about the guy, because before she moved out, they told him, and he told her not to talk to the guy because he was involved in a gang, and he heard about it, and just focus on school and whatever will come after. And he said he couldn't even recognize her because she was so bleached out. He never even realized it was his daughter. So he was like, I could have driven past her and not know it was her.
Yeah. And I don't want to, and I raise it not because we can solve it or we want to talk it to death, because I think that it has already been talked to death. I raise it because as a nation scattered all over the globe, we need to recognize that there are some moral issues that we need to treat with. And we need to recognize that unless we seek an intervention from the good God himself collectively to impact and to change people's outlook and approach whilst doing something, because prayers without action is zero. We need to just pray for this man and this family and this community as we go through this week in a special way. That is my burden. That is my burden for the week. I don't know. I just don't know.
Well, let's wrap it up. So it's about 11:40 something, 46. And Michelle.
Well, it was fun and interesting. While we were doing a discussion, we see that the COVID cases are going extremely high in Jamaica. Remember to try to
Where are they right now? What's the latest?
I think
it was 50 something. The positivity rate was last report 58 point something I saw.
Yeah, and the day before it was 68 point something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it went up to 1,700, and I think it went back down to 1,200. But the numbers are fluctuating in the thousands.
I know that Manchester, the hospital in Mandeville, and the UA hospital are overburdened.
Yeah. Cases. Yeah, the officer said it's 90% capacity right now across the island. That's across the island.
And you know that we haven't seen, you know, there's to me, with this kind of fluctuation at a high rate, I believe that the rate is so high that's hidden right now that, you know, so many people have it. And
yeah, that's people have it.
We're not gonna capture it that easily.
Yeah, we're not. And they're saying it's a cold or the flu. But yeah, so people sanitize, wear your mask, social distance. And Leo, sad you're going, but you know you're gonna always be here. And I do appreciate every growth since I started this show with you. And I wish you all the best. Well, I don't have to do the sub story because I do talk to Leo outside of the show. And sometimes I do annoy him with the most trivial things just to annoy him. So it's not goodbye for me, but for the show. And I know we'll see you on often to give us your input. And I want to wish you all the best. Okay?
Thanks, Mish.
Okay, Leo, and I'm going to instruct you to have your wrap-up comments. Before I comment.
Well, you know, sometimes it's hard to make decisions that you have to make. I love what I do. I spend six different days on air during the week, and it's because I love to interact with you and interact with the audience, and you know, whatever it is that I can do. I spend a lot of time with philanthropy, and I love that. I want to die doing philanthropy. And so when I made the decision, it wasn't something that was easy to make. It's something that just I had to do. And based on your comments, you understand. And so, yeah, I'll be right here. I'm not going anywhere really. And I'll jump in whenever I can. But I want to spend as much time as I can writing and rewriting and rechecking to make sure that whatever the material that I'm putting in is optimum. And so that's why. But I'll still be on air on Saturday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with music on, it's just that the talk.
Somebody asked, what is the doctoral studies in?
Criminology.
Criminology. So, yes, yeah. You're studying criminology. And
I believe that my thesis is going to be, I already made my decision on crisis and conflict resolution and management.
Good topic. I would love to hear it, and you better follow through. This is a sacrifice you're making. So let me have to come down there now.
All right, everybody. It's nice to be here. It's nice, but you'll see me. I'll be here.
All right. So if I might be allowed to close out, Leo, what would we do without you? Perhaps we would have slept a little bit later on Saturday morning. We would go to bed a little earlier on Tuesday nights, but we wouldn't change it for anything. We're happy that you shared your vision of having this dialogue, this conversation with us, and invited us to participate in the growth and the development of this project. We see it as an ongoing venture. We commit to keeping it. We commit to engaging those who come to us weekly or daily in this space and to keep them engaged in practical ways. We're going to invite other guests from time to time so that we can have a different perspective and different topics. As we look for the 6-month celebration, I'm going to invite those of us online to send notes to Michelle and myself and Leo as well. And I have Leo's number, he'll give us the information. If you had to recommend 4 persons to be recognized and celebrated in celebration of Jamaica 60, who would those 4 persons be? Send us those things and we'll do a compilation, pick 60 out of it and talk, have conversations about them. It might be your mother, it might be a neighbor, it might be Leo, whomever it is. Let us build conversations about them. So you have the next rest of January to make those submissions. We'll go through it. And for the 6 months leading up to August 6th, we will celebrate them in that way, alongside looking at our culture. What cultural activity do you remember as a child growing up that you would love to see? I thank you so much for being here. Like Michelle always said, COVID is still a thing. Keep safe. May God continue to bless. And who must keep warm, whether you're over in Canada or you're out in Europe or you're in the US. Even Atlanta getting snow and more snow, and Michelle getting freezing rain. So we're going to keep warm. God bless you.
Goodbye.